Actually going to take a look at, yeah, we're gonna turn it down a little bit. Last time that was kinda loud, so. We're here again with Apotheon, as I have said. Last time I played this, it didn't really go too well. Kinda forgot what I was doing. I think I remember, at least for this level, I have to free Apollo's horses, which, in case you didn't know, myth in, Greek mythology, Apollo would bring the sun across the sky with 4 glowing steeds. Very interesting. Oh, what the hell? I'm on fire. If you remember God of War 2, you can actually, they kind of exemplify that a little bit, where you come across the glowing steeds and what have you. So I guess I gotta kill these people. Or not. So today, there's a couple things I'd like to cover. Just be forewarned, there's going to be spoilers for Rick and Morty, Game of Thrones, and Walking Dead, just because. But first, the thing I'd like to talk about is Crystal Pepsi, which, this episode is not brought to you by, but is powered and fueled by Crystal Pepsi. As a Beast would say, a taste like no other. Now, I've pretty much been pushing Crystal Pepsi to the point of annoyance on my friends, peers, and coworkers. And it's a hit or miss. Some people absolutely love Crystal Pepsi. Some people cannot, think it's, they can't stand it. And it's just it's very interesting. There's no, middle ground. It's either they love it or they hate it, which is very, it's interesting. For those of you who have never tried Crystal Pepsi or don't know what the heck I'm talking about, it is a clear Pepsi that tastes somewhat like Pepsi. I think it, to me personally, it tastes like Pepsi with like a little lime kick almost, like a little citrusy. Not quite orange, not quite lemon, not quite lime, but just enough of a citrus kick to let you know, hey, there's something else going on here, and I happen to like it quite a bit. They've said that this is going to be their last shipment and their last batch made, and I sincerely doubt that. I mean, they kind of Pepsi Co. has kind of been coy on the whole issue as far as releasing it, and because first last year, I want to say around April, they really had like a contest where you could win Crystal Pepsi, and then they'd send out like, I think there were 8-ounce bottles to various people, and it was kind of disappointing because it's like, all right, just the select, and of course they all wound up on eBay, and only so it's like half the people that won it stuck it up on eBay and didn't bother trying it. But finally they had a limited release in October in which there was cases upon cases of it at my local grocery store, Walmart, you name it, they had it. So it was very easy to find, which is nice. But I think I feel like they oversaturated it a little bit as far as because there's just too much of it, and I feel like they shipped out too much to the stores, and I don't think, I think it did them more harm than good as far as supply was. But, and then I want to say January of this year, they had another limited release of Crystal Pepsi. And again, it was the same issue. There was just cases upon cases of it. And, it sat around for a while, and it just kind of disappointed me because, it's basic economics, supply and demand. If you have too much supply, then there's not going to be that much demand. And that's what had happened. I feel like even if people did buy it, they didn't buy enough to where it would be enticing for people to buy. I mean, if there was only 3 or 4 left, or not even 3 or 4, if there was 1 case left, I feel like it would have been more of a an incentive to buy. So, I mean, really what they should have done would have made the most sense is for them to only put one case out on the floor at a time, and then have, just, you know, once that case sold out, stick another one out on the floor. That would have made sense to me. And the other problem, I feel like they didn't really, promote awareness of the product very much. I mean, when it first came out, you know, I'd just say, hey, you know, do you have any Crystal Pepsi? And they'd look at me like I made it up. Like, clear Pepsi, what are you talking about? I'm talking about Crystal Pepsi. You know, I taste like no other. Which Pepsi also should have used as the tagline. I mean, you've never seen a taste like this? Okay, that's good, but taste like no other. I feel like LA Beast really hit the nail on the head there. But they probably would have had to pay him royalties had he had Pepsi used that. So that kind of makes sense. But you know, Pepsi is back. They do appear to have learned their lesson, or have given up on it, because I can't find it at my local grocery anymore. They don't seem to have it, and it doesn't appear to be they only appears to be at Walmart in the cooler in the very front. There's no longer any cases out on the floor. Granted, that could just mean that they've grown wise and are only putting out a limited supply at a time, or Pepsi just doesn't care anymore and they're giving up and, you know, screw what people want. But, you know, I'm glad it's back. I have a small stash for myself that should last me a little while. Some of it is expired. I'm not going to pull an LA Beast and drink it. Or at least I'll wait a couple of years. I'm not going to. Anyway, maybe I'll sell it to him. Or maybe I'll give it to him, you know, in 20 years when it's expired and nasty. But, you know, for what it's worth, it is good. It is delicious. It's great. You've never seen a taste like this. Alright, I don't know what I'm doing here. This seems like important. Yeah, well, okay, so I have to bring her water. I feel like I shouldn't have had them. Alright, and then next thing I wanted to cover is I lost 3 subscribers this week, which not really that big of a deal if you're, you know, any ordinary YouTube person, but considering I only had 8 subscribers at the time, that's almost half my subscriber base. So, yeah, that kind of hurt a little bit. Although, granted, I didn't even know I had, well, you know, I didn't really know I even had subscribers. I'm not sure who subscribed to me, but for those of you who did subscribe to me, thank you for that. Hopefully you stay subscribed and you don't abandon me like those other people did. I'm just kidding. But I'm assuming it was probably one of those, you know, YouTube clearinghouse kind of things. Again, you know, probably affected everyone, but because I only had 8 subscribers, it affected me more. But whatever, you know, it's clearly I'm not doing this for the subscribers or watchers, for that matter. Anyway, moving on, talk a little bit of TV here. First of which being Rick and Morty. How am I supposed to fill this? Season 3 is well underway, much to the can't find the word I'm looking. Much to the delight of many Rick and Morty fans. Unfortunately, I don't know if I'm the only one, but I'm not really 100% impressed with it. Here. Giving you water. Take the water. Take it. Okay, I'm missing something here. Anyway, I feel like it's just missing something. I feel like I don't know. I feel like the episodes should be better quality after the 2-year wait that they made us take. I mean, it feels forced, you know? Oh, great.
The wrath of the Azul!
You know, I don't know. I mean, like, Pickle Rick, I mean, Pickle Rick was funny, but then the implementation of the episode, I feel like it fell on its face. It's like, I feel like they're pushing the divorce too much. I feel like they're relying on that. I feel like the show was better when, you know, Jerry still lived in the house, and, you know, it was... it just feels forced now. I feel like they're pushing the divorce angle too, and they're kind of relying on that, almost a crutch. I'm just gonna stand here. You know, like the Jerry Beth, it just, he's gonna... Can I cancel this? Okay. So does that have water in it now? Yeah, just the Jerry Beth divorce. I just feel like they're pushing it too much. Because generally the episodes were pretty self-contained. I mean, there'd be callbacks and references too, but there wouldn't really be a 100% overarching narrative most of the time. I mean, now with the divorce, it seems to just be completely driving the storyline. How do I give you water? Here, take it. Here, I'm gonna throw it at him. Okay. I'm not really quite sure. Oh, yeah, that hurt. Those are spikes. Am I missing something here? Alright, give me 1 second. I'm going to look this up. Okay, you literally have to throw that matter. Alright, that is kind of what I did. I just missed. So let's try that again. But yeah, I feel like the charm, like just the complete zaniness that Rick and Morty, you know, is made famous for and, you know, completely revolutionized, I feel like they're not really... They're just trying too hard to reclaim that. I mean, I love Rick and Morty. I mean, season 2 was probably its pinnacle, but just season 3 just isn't really doing it for me. I really hope the rest of the season, you know, can really reclaim the magic that the first and second season had. I mean, first and foremost, they need to bring back Mr. Poopy Butthole. I mean, they kind of, you know, I want to know how his rehab's doing. I want to know how his physical therapy is doing. I mean, really, we should just get a Mr. Poopy Butthole episode, and that would make me happy. But just, I'm getting sick of the Jerry Beth divorce. I'm getting sick of Rick ragging on Jerry for, you know, being Jerry. I mean, it's getting kind of stale. I mean, last episode, you know, with the Giganticizer, or whatever you want to call it, with the giant summer and the Attack on Titan, I mean, that was kind of, I mean, that was a nice, it's kind of shades of what it used to be, but just, you know, the whole Rick and Jerry, you know, secondary, or, I mean, I guess that was the primary plot, that kind of didn't really do it for me. So hopefully it'll pick up later in the season. I mean, truthfully, this could all be part of the plan. I mean, this is, you know, Dan Harmon and Justin Roiland. I mean, this is...
Thank you, stranger.
This very well could be
no
a plan of theirs.
Or his servants.
Alright, what do we gotta do here?
Apollo, even in this wooden armor, I cannot escape his lechery. When I was a naiad, he pursued me in the forest. Just before I fell prey to his lust, I prayed for mercy and was transformed into this laurel tree. Then what does he do? He tears me from the earth and plants me in his private gardens. Every day he comes to caress my branches.
Oh my.
I'm forever sick of his leering face and spidery fingers. An enemy of Apollo is clearly an ally of mine. Take this ward, an echo of Helios's brilliance. Though he may think otherwise, Apollo does not command all that is bright in this world.
Okay. I'll take it. That is a big shield. Alright, so now what do I got? Besides fall on my face. I feel like I'm running faster. Okay, objective complete in the Garden of Light. Well, yeah, I mean, this all may very well be intentional by the creators of Rick and Morty. I hope it is, but you never know. When will these guys stop attacking me? Or are these guys are the ones I'm supposed to kill? I don't know. I'll just keep running to that arrow. And then finally, the last thing I want to touch upon is there we go. The season finale, season 7 of Game of Thrones is Sunday, and I could not be more excited. Again, spoiler warning for season 7, you know, up to the season finale of Game of Thrones. I've heard a lot of what's speculated to happen. I mean, there's that one Reddit post where the guy pretty much spoils the entire season. I kind of wish I didn't read that. But, you know, it is what it is. I mean, it's, you know, beware, the internet is dark and full of spoilers. You know, I should have known better. But, yeah, a little too late for that. So I'm kind of excited, kind of hoping to see, if this guy's going to kick my rear end.
I praise and honor you.
Worst time to take a drink. But kind of really hoping Peter Baelish kind of sees his downfall. Oh, that's wonderful. Kind of sick of him. I can't really stand him, to be truthful. I mean, after all the evilness he did to Sansa, and just his lechery and creepiness. I mean, and that accent. I mean, where did that... Sansa, you have to join me so we could become, you know, leaders of the realm. It's like, where did that... I mean, what kind of accent is that? I mean, everyone else in this show has, you know, for more or for less British accents. But Peter Baelish, I mean, it's just the strangest accent. Here, catch. Here, catch. Here, catch. Here, catch. Here, catch. I spear you. I throw this at you. Alright. You know, and he's just, I mean, very good writing. I mean, he's a phenomenal actor. I think it's Aidan Gillen is his actor. Just a phenomenal actor. But, I mean, just the character in and of himself. Oh, so that's how you do that. Just very creepy. I mean, he does his job well. I mean, they're gonna kill me. Oh, okay, that's what that does. But, yeah, so I'm really, you know, I can't wait to see his downfall. I mean, there's still a lot up in the air. I was kind of expecting at the end of last week's episode for Arya to kill Sansa and for her to take Sansa's face. I mean, that would have been an interesting spin on things. But kind of glad she didn't, though. I mean, Ned Stark's kind of running out of children, so the two that are left should probably stick together. Or, I'm sorry, 3. Well, we're going to call it 2 because Bran's not really Bran anymore. He is the Three-Eyed Raven. No, but he is not Brandon anymore. He is the Three-Eyed Raven. And that is what he is. So, you know, I mean, and we all know that, you know, by now that Jon Snow is, in fact, Jon, or Daenerys, I think everyone's calling him. Daenerys Targaryen. So, hopefully they don't leave us hanging on that. Hopefully they finally, you know, admit what people have been speculating for, I mean, over a decade now, that Jon Snow is, in fact, Jon Targaryen. Hopefully they at least finally confirm. I mean, we did get somewhat of a confirmation last season, but, I mean, it's seeing it in a vision of Bran's is one thing, and actually like seeing it, him knowing, you know, that's another thing. We got to see it. We have to make it, you know, we got to make it Facebook official. You know what I'm saying? And you know, hopefully maybe Sam will be the one to tell him, you know, with that almost reveal that they had last I think 2 episodes ago, where Gilly was like, "Oh, John, there was a secret wedding with you know, Lyanna Stark." Not now, Gilly. You know, I mean that was frustrating. You know, I really, you know, I'm sure there's a collective scream at every single TV in the country, you know, in the world at that very moment when Sam told her to shut up. That was incredibly frustrating. This is gonna take me down. Oh, or not. Come here, come here. Yeah, 5 health left. And then, of course, you know, the obvious with the, I mean, you could just see from the previews that there's going to be a big meeting at, Dragonstone? Or, no, the Dragon's Pit, or whatever that old Coliseum is. I can't keep track. There's too much stuff in the show for me to remember all the names of. But, yeah, that will be interesting, to say the least. I was kind of hoping Cersei would go down. I think I touched upon it another episode, or, yeah, another stream, whatever you want to call these things. I think I touched upon it, that, I was kind of hoping Cersei would die, and, you know, Daenerys would take the throne, and this season would conclude the battle for the 7 Kingdoms between Daenerys and Cersei. Doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. It looks like they're going to deal with the White Walkers first. Hopefully Cersei won't live through the battle. Jaime will come to his senses. Not likely. I mean, really, you can't hate Jaime, though. I mean, he's not a bad guy. He's just a little, not bound by love, but blinded by love is the word I'm looking for. He's a little blinded by his love for his, sister, of all people. Which, I mean, it's hilarious because he could have pretty much any woman in the entire 7 Kingdoms he would want. And of all the people, he chooses the one who's probably the most, what's the word I'm looking for? Haggard? Cersei's not a nice woman. I mean, I know a lot of people like her because she's powerful and she gets what she wants, but I mean, she's just not a nice person. I mean, she's slept and killed her way to the top, and, you know, that's... I mean, I don't understand. That's not really admirable in my book because she didn't actually get her power by, you know, being powerful. She got her power by sleazing and conniving, and I mean, that's not... She has no honor, is what I'm saying. Daenerys? Okay, I understand why people like Daenerys. She gets what she wants. She's basically the anti-Cersei. She has taken the honorable route through and through. Cersei, not so much. Cersei is not honorable. You know, she is not an honorable man. If anybody remembers, Dude, Where's My Car? You know. But, yeah. So, I mean, I don't really like Daenerys. I mean, I feel like she's a little too immature to be leading an entire people. But I would take Daenerys over Cersei any day. Now, that being said, I really don't know if Daenerys is going to live to see the end. If anyone remembers her vision in the House of the Undying, I want that shield back. Where, you know, you will not have any children, and where she touches the throne, it turns into snow, rather, which obviously, I mean, that's could be a clear indicator that, I'm gonna go ahead and save her. You know, she might be sharing the throne or relinquishing the throne to Jon Snow / Targaryen.
Bring fire to my arrows to pierce
Okay, I
any
feel
shield.
like I'm going to break that song. Alright, that's what did it. Nope, nope. He was the easiest one of all of them. Alright, so we're gonna take that, we're gonna take that. No, we're actually gonna find the lyre of Apollo. Okay, those respawn, cool. So going. So yeah, hopefully tomorrow, Sunday's episode will end with Peter Baelish and Cersei's heads on spikes. I'll settle for one out of the two. We'll have to see where the Iron Bank, and am I supposed to hit that? I am, and I probably gonna wait for this now. But, take those. But yeah, so hopefully it'll end with at least one of the two's heads on the spikes. Preferably both. Really hoping for both, but I'll be happy with just the one. Oh, okay, that would have been helpful, but no. There's more of this. So, we're just gonna leave that for now. Alright, and that's about all I got today. Really excited for Game of Thrones. Really sad that I'm gonna have to wait at least another year. I mean, they're probably gonna drag it out for probably till July/August again. Not happy about that. But that's, you know, it is what it is. Well, hopefully
Aim for the eye.
I'm gonna enter here before all those guys kill me. And now we're gonna pause it and we're gonna save it again. So hopefully, you know, it'll end. I don't know, less of a cliffhanger than. Well, last season didn't really end on a cliffhanger, to be fair. It ended with, you know, the boats and what have you. So hopefully it ends on a badass note like that. And that's really all I got today. So that's it for me. Until next time. Also, would like to add, you know, if you like what I'm doing, let me know. If you don't like what I'm doing, let me know. I can't get better without input from whoever happens to watch this thing. Alright, so again, until next time,